This week I'm talking about the idea of reverse engineering, and this is something that I've used both in a positive way and in a negative way in my life. I'm going to talk about both. Let's talk about the negative one and then we can work our way up into a positive version. So the negative one is to do with my approach to getting into photography. It started out healthy. I bought my first DSLR on a credit card. I thought, oh yeah, I'll pay this off pretty quickly, but bought my first DSLR. And at some point I told myself I'm not moving up in camera until I fully understand why I'm going to move up in camera. And that did hold true. I did not improve my camera, move from that D50 to what was at the time a D300 secondhand, pretty good, until I really knew what was going on. But then a friend of mine said, hey, there's this beautiful lens on Kijiji. The price is amazing. I think you should invest in that. So I ended up buying that lens. Couldn't really afford that at the time either. And it's sort of just built from there. It's so easy in creative professions, in particular videography and photography, to just keep buying gear. You think, oh, well, that'll make it a little bit easier here and a little bit easier there. The problem is the percentage of ease created does not necessarily excuse the price tag. So 10% increase in efficiency for, let's say $1,000, is that actually worth it? Now here comes the reverse engineering. What happened to me and has happened to a lot of people out there is you buy all of the equipment, all of the options, and over time you filter it down and whittle it down and find out you only use a small piece of it. And in the end, you hopefully sell off the gear you don't use and you are just down to the essence of what you like to use, the equipment that really makes what you like to create. That's an expensive way to approach it. Let's fast forward to reverse engineering in a positive way. I do this with photographs I like. So I could have read from front to back every single page on how to use my camera or every single page on how to become a photographer. That method still functions. But I decided to reverse engineer things. What I ended up doing, and I still do this to date, is I find a photograph that I like, be it a portrait, a landscape, whatever you want. And then I take that and I think, okay, how do I find out how this was made? Through that action, you learn the skills to do what you need to do to make that image. And you only end up learning the pieces you need to know. Some might consider that limiting. I don't think so. I think the more you do it, and if you find new images that you're attracted to creating, then you learn the new pieces as you go. But I think it's a lot of fun, and you end up engaging in conversations with people about how to do things. I have met so many incredibly talented people in this city, commercial photographers and otherwise, and it's through engaging in those conversations, saying, hey, I have a goal of making this and I just don't quite understand how this was done. And they're more than happy and in fact excited to share their knowledge, as opposed to if you walked up to them and said, can you just teach me how to be a great photographer? It's too general. As soon as you get specific, they get very excited to help out. I'm the same way. If you came to me with a very specific question, I'd be able to get into it really quick and I'd probably be pretty stoked to help you out. So there you go. That's this week's topic. I'm going to make this a one-taker, I guess, and I'm going to let you enjoy your week. If you live in Calgary, as you know, we're in a bit of a heat wave right now, so I hope you're staying cool and keeping the temperature down in your house. If you don't live here, well, we're in a heat wave. Come hang out with us. All right, talk to you next week.